shared this fence since we were boys, worked the same dirt, raised the same noise. Him and me, like brothers true, same church, same truck, same morning dew. But then one day in June I saw his wife standing in the barn doors thaw, sunlight on her hair, coffee in hand, and I felt something I couldn't command. I don't blame him for loving her. She's kind, she's strong, she's everything pure. He's a good man, he's my best friend, but I love her and it won't end. Not in fire, not in fight, just slow, quiet every night. And if I burn for this sin I've known, I don't blame him, I blame the road I've gone. She don't know, she'd never guess, and just smiles and how's your harvest, yes. But when she talks, I hear the grace, and I see a life I can't replace. I've walked away from that back porch light, fists clenched tight in the dead of night, prayed to God to take it away, but he just let it stay. I don't blame him for loving her. He built that home, he earned every word. He fixed her fence, held her through pain, while I just watch in the rain. And if I die with this truth in my chest, let them say I fought but failed the test. And if she's happy, that's all I know. I don't blame him, I just love her too slow. It ain't lust, it ain't rage, it ain't pride. It's just two souls who met on the wrong side of a fence, of a vow, of a sacred line. And I cross it every time in my mind. I don't blame him for loving her. He's the man she chose, he's the man she heard. I'm just the shadow, the one who sees the life I want on his knees. So I'll stay silent, I'll do my part, work the land, break my heart. And if I burn, let the flames be true. I don't blame him, I only blame. I don't blame him, I blame the wind that carried her voice to my sin. Sunlight cuts through the window pane, dust in the air like a soft refrain. 20 kids stand in crooked line, hands on hearts and shirts that shine. Not from iron but from love, like the one I wore, hand-me-downs from above. And there's my boy in the second row, hair uncound but his voice is slow and clear as the bell that called us home when I was small and not alone. So he says, I pledge allegiance to the flag and the land and the brave. Same words I said in this very place, with dirt on my shoes and a smile on my face. Now I sit here old and still, watching the blood of my blood fulfill a promise not written in law or might, but in work and prayer and doing what's right. And that pledge in room 6 is still the truest thing I've ever lived. His mama's gone, she drove off one night, left him with me in a world not right. But this school, this flag, this teacher kind gave him a place and peace of mind. The principal's old taught my pa, same flag hangs there, same wooden door. And when they all say with liberty, I see my father's face in the army. So he says, I pledge allegiance to the flag that flew at his birth. Not because it's forced, not because it's due, but cause he knows what it's been through. For the farm that feeds, for the road that runs, for the war my pa fought and my boy's young lungs that rise each morn with a hope so pure that this land can still endure. And that pledge in room 6 is the strongest thread that holds us in. They say the world's changed, the young don't care, but I see it right here in the morning air. A small hand up, a voice so thin, saying words that build where we begin. So he says, I pledge allegiance to the flag and the land and the free. And I whisper along with tears in my eyes, that's my boy reaching the skies. No fanfare, no crowd, no parade today, just a country school and a child who will say, this land is mine and I'll keep it true, like my pa did and my pa before you. And that pledge in room 6 is still the heartbeat of this old land of sticks. The pledge in room 6 still stands, still means everything.
Now still no rest every morning at home, though you've been gone, dear, since the corn was shucked and drawn. Your chair's full of dust, but I won't move it aside. Like maybe you walk through that back door. I raised our 3 young uns on beans and on prayer, mended their jeans, kissed their hurts with care. You worked the field late, came home cold and sore, but you held me close and we loved all. Oh, the light in the kitchen window still burns through the night, like a beacon for wanderers coming back home alright. It's not much to see, just a bulb in the pane, but it shone through the storms, through the joy. I hope someone sees that light's still on for the ones overseas. Jenny moved west with her husband and kin, says the desert's too dry, but she's trying. City works double each week, sends me a letter when the words aren't too weak. And Billy, my baby, you never got to know, he wore your old house creaks at night like it misses you too. The radio plays that old hymn we once knew. I talk to your picture, wipe dust from your face, and tell you the news with a smile and a grace. They say, Ma, come live where it's warm and it's bright, but this land, this home, it's my heart's only light. When my time comes, I'll slip real slow, and I'll meet you again where the roses still grow. Yes, the light in the kitchen window will fade with my years, but love don't die, it just changes its gears. So keep it lit, child, when I'm under the pine, for the ones who come after, for the lost and the blind. Let it shine, let it shine. The light in the window still on, for you.
No shoes, laying hose, love and wrongs, documentary. The pills left you so tonight through two. You asked me, Paul, what you said, secret to life. I took a long breath and ended my stride. It ain't in the money, the car, or the name. No more that you give, not the one that you'll claim. Your mama taught me more than the fields ever knew, like how silence can speak when the sky turns blue. The things I tell you, son, if I could start again, work with your hands, but lead with your heart. When you fall, don't hide, let them be stopped, and you'll take a boy once, your uncle, my pride, shot down in a jungle, nowhere to hide. His letter still burns in my Bible's old page. Tell Mama I smiled right to my last day. I learned that night God don't promise no ease, but He walks every step of your knees on the crease. And the strongest men ain't the ones who don't cry, they're the ones who still stand when the storm rolls high. The things I'd tell you, son, if I could start again: work with your hands, but lead with your heart. When you fall, don't hide, let them see your scars, and hold someone close through the long, hard stars. Don't chase the world, let it come to your door. The best things in life you already saw. I drove that old tractor from Kansas City to noon, plowed every acre beneath this red moon. But the crop I'm proudest of, that's you, my kin. Raised you in faith, not just fed you and gin. When you hold your own child, just rock real slow, whisper their name like the Lord already knows. And when I'm gone, don't you plant me in stone, just put me beneath the big oak, take me home. Time's a wild horse, you can't rope it tight, so love while you can in the pale morning light. And when you get old and your knees start to groan, tell your story slow, like I'm telling you now, like I'm telling you now. The things I'd tell you, son, if I could start again: love deep, forgive fast, and live like you're known. When you're broke, don't beg, just keep working the land, and thank God each night for the bread in your hand. If you die with no riches, but your heart's full and warm, you live like a man, you live like a man. The things I tell you, son, if I could stay just one more day. Monday morning, she's out in the mud chasing chickens, fixing the plow with blood on her hands from the thorn and the wire. But she laughs like it's part of the choir. She milks the cow, feeds the hog, sings to the corn like it knows the gods. Then Friday comes, she washes her face, puts on her dress, and I see my place. 'Cause she can two-step in rubber boots, spin like a top and break the roots. Little screams, the floor starts to shake and the whole room says that's a one fine make. She don't need a ballroom, a chandelier, just a beat, a grin, and a man who's sincere. And me holding on, trying not to fall. Every time she dances, she owns it all. We danced first time in her tractor shed, rain pouring down, not a soul in sight dead. I said, no music. She said, we got rain. So we waltzed to the thunder, no shame, no pain. Now 50 years gone and her hair's turned gray, but she kicks off her shoes and says, let's have a day. And when that old fiddle starts to cry, she's 16 again, and so am I. So she can two-step in rubber boots, spin like a whirlwind, light up the roots. Fiddle screams, the neighbors all shout, she's still got it, no doubt, no doubt. She don't need a stage, she don't need a crown, just a man who loves her and this little town. And when the band plays and the stars come out, she owns the floor without a doubt. They say love fades, well they ain't seen my girl in that dress dancing wild and keen. She's my heart, my laugh, my rhyme, the best thing I ever did was marry that wife. Yeah, she can two-step in rubber boots, kick up the dust and make the room salute. Fiddle's on fire, the bass is low, and she's dancing like she don't know that she's old, that she's tired, that time's run fast. She's just my girl in that moment in class. She can two-step in rubber boots. Lord, I love that woman. Yee-haw. Play it again, fiddle boy. He's stepping down after 50 years, not because of doubt, but because it's time to rest. He reflects on faith, forgiveness, the people he's loved. I ain't standing on no upright base very long. Gentle rains, it's every night I've one rhyming right. Yeah, and I ain't preaching, just talking plain, like a man who's loved and lost and gained. It ain't in the words, it ain't in the song, it brought me I did prison time, buried soldiers with tears in my head, held the hand of the drunk, the thief, the shame. Never once felt I was above the same. I sinned, I stumbled, I cried at night, but grace came quiet like not with flame. Just a whisper, son, I know your name. So I ain't preaching, just talking plain, like a man who's carried joy and pain. It ain't in the robes, it ain't in the choir, it's in feeding the hungry and lifting the tired. So if you remember me when I'm gone, say he loved God and he loved us all. When I stand before him, I won't speak loud, just bow my head and thank him proud for the wife he gave, for the souls he sent, for the chance to love and to repent. And now I ain't preaching, just resting my soul with the good book open and a heart made whole. If my voice still echoes in your mind, don't quote my words, just be kind. And when you see me in the dust where I'm gone, say he loved God and he loved us all. My last sermon, but I ain't preaching, just remembering him. And you.
I wake up slow and the rooster don't care. Buckle my belt, say a prayer to the air. Coffee's black, boots are cracked, dog's name's Blue, and he's got no back. That old Ford's sitting where the gravel ends, paint's peeling off like a sunburned friend. It rattles, it shakes, it coughs through the gears, but it's never left me stuck in the years. I'm just a cowboy with a creaky old truck, a dog with one leg and a pocket full of luck. I don't own much, but I owe even less, and I sleep like a baby on a hay string mess. No fancy house, no city view, just a wide open sky and boots that knew the dirt, the wind, the long haul through. Yeah, I'm just a cowboy, and I'm happy like that. I wave at folks in pickups twice new, they honk and speed, I wave right through. Ain't in a rush, got no boss to please, just the cattle, the fence, and the evening breeze. Met a girl once in a diner in Dodge. She said, "You're too quiet." I said, "You're too large." We laughed, shared pie. She left with a smile, and I still think of her once in a while. I'm just a cowboy with a creaky old truck, a dog with pocket full of luck. I don't chase riches, I don't chase fame, just a cool creek, a good horse, and a name that folks say kind when they call it out. No need for more, no need to doubt, just sun, dirt, and a faithful round. Yeah, I'm just a cowboy, and I'm happy like that. The world's got folks with silver and suits, but they ain't seen the dawn on these open roofs. I may be poor in the way they see, but rich in the things that set a man free. I'm just a cowboy with a creaky old truck, a heart full of quiet, and a dog named Luck. When I'm gone, just lay me down where the prairie grass waves and the hawks make sound. No fancy stone, no long speech, just a whisper. He lived beyond reach of greed, of noise, of what they preach. Yeah, I'm just a cowboy, and I wouldn't change a thing. Just a cowboy with a creaky old truck and a dog named Blue, riding slow home. He remembers the back-breaking work, long night mass, answer the land's call. Their haven roars, I'm quite see the wonders, back to back, the ditch. He remembers back bite, better with this, the long ladder might and my clothes. We remembers like the bright, they see the letters by line and a line. He took me to these bad ways and bad. We'd gather at dusk when the work was done, share a dip of tobacco and talk of the sun. Old man Jenkins would play his beat-up guitar, and we'd sing old songs beneath one bright star. The kids all left for the city's bright light, said, Pa, this land won't feed us right. I didn't blame them, just nodded my head, while the tears in my eyes stayed warm and red. Yeah, the cotton stopped growing when the time
when the rich got richer and the poor got sold. No more bales stacked high in the harvest moon, just silence and weeds and a long gone tune. And the house stands empty, the well's running low. I still feel the ache when the cotton stopped growing. I reckon progress has its place and name, but it don't know my daddy's first and last name. It don't know the sweat, the prayers and the roll, the pride and the harvest no one else would know. Now the cotton stopped growing, and so did I, just a shadow on the porch as the years drift by. But if heaven's a place with a fence and a plow, I'll be back in the field with my face to the vow. And the Lord will say, son, you kept on sowing when the cotton stopped growing. But my heart kept growing when the cotton stopped growing. I stayed, I stayed. Breaker, breaker, this is long haul Luke. 10-4 on the line, got a story to tell you. I've logged 1,000,000 miles since '78, from El Paso dust to a snowstorm in Maine. Ain't got a house, but I got this old rig and a heart full of songs the radio can't sing. Met a waitress in Tulsa with coffee and grace. Slept in this cab with a smile on my face. She said, "You're too free." I said, "You're too kind." Now she's in my dreams every time I unwind. Yeah, I'm just a voice on the CB line, talking to ghosts in a sky so divine. No boss, no lease, just the road and me, and the stars up above keeping time with my speed. I may be old and my hair's turned gray, but I'm still rolling free. Ain't that the way? So if you hear me late, just a whisper, this is Luke. I'm not lost, darling. I'm exactly where I look. I lost my brother in '93. Truck flipped in Iowa, never came home free. Now I say his name at every state line. Waylon, I'm passing through, you're still on my mind. I carry his photo on the dash real clean, and a Bible beside it, well worn and thin. When the storm gets loud and the tires hum low, I feel him right here, like he's driving me home. Yeah, I'm just a voice on the CB line, talking to ghosts in a sky so divine. No boss, no leash, just the road and me, and the stars up above keeping time with my speed. I may be old and my bones feel the cold, but I'd freeze out here before living in gold. So if you hear me late, just a whisper, this is Luke. I'm not lost, darling, I'm exactly where I look. They say retire, boy, take it slow, but stillness hurts more than the snow. The road's my church, the wheel's my prayer, and freedom's the only home I can bear. Yeah, I'm just a voice on the CB line, but I've lived more than most in this old rig of mine. When I'm gone, just let the engine run and play Hank on the tape till the rising sun. And if you're out there riding through the blue, say long haul Luke, I saw your light and I knew. Breaker, breaker, this is long haul Luke, signing off with love and clear skies over you. I knew her voice before I turned around, like a song I thought time had drowned. She stood there slow with a cane in her hand, and the years all fell like grains of sand. That bench is cracked, the paint's long gone, but the willow still sways where we carved our names on. She said, you still wear that old brown hat? I said, only 'cause you said I look like that. 50 years gone and the world moved fast, but here we are like the first time we passed. No need for words, no need to explain, just two old hearts beating the same. She sat down slow, I took her the bench by the creek, where we said forever, just you and me. They sent me off in '54 said don't come back. There's war, there's war. I wrote you letters, but none got through. And when I came home, you'd moved with your kin to New. I waited 10 years, then let it be. Figured you found your own destiny. But I never married, never could see another woman who looked like thee. 50 years gone, and the world moved fast. But here we are, like the first time we passed. No need for vows, no need for rings, just the love that never takes wings. She smiled that smile, the one I knew, and I felt 16 all over you. On the bench by the creek, where the willow still speaks of me and you. Time stole our hair, it stole our youth, but it never touched the truth that some loves don't fade, don't bend, don't break. They just wait for the heart to wake. 50 years gone, but the love stayed true. And here we are, with nothing to do but sit hand in hand, watch the water glide, and feel that old sweet quiet pride. So if we die here, side by side, let 'em say we came to where we belong. On the bench by the creek, where we loved too long to let go. The bench by the creek still holds us, still knows our names. I was 16, you're new in town. Hair like honey, feet not touching the ground. You didn't know dirt roads or the sound of a crow, but you smiled at the rooster like I loved him. I showed you the creek, the barn, the sky, and you taught me to read poems I never knew why. Then one June night, beneath the old tree, you said, stay with me, and you gave me your knee. No, we swung on that rope slow and low,
under the apple tree. They sent me off in '62. Said, son, come back if you come back soon. I wrote you every week till the mail ran thin, and the war stole the days, and the silence came in.
I came home slow with a limp and a scar. Knocked on your door, but you weren't where you are.
The neighbor said she waited years, then moved to the city, dried her tears. So I swung on that rope all alone, whispered your name to the wind and stone. You said you'd wait beneath the bloom, but the world took you and left me in gloom.
Still I believe in your promise to me.
Right there under the apple tree. 40 years past, I was gray and slow when a letter came with your handwriting, though.
You wrote I never married, never could see
Another man who looked like thee. I kept your letters, your photo, your name, and I came back today to the same old lane. So we swung on that rope slow and low, two old hearts beating just like before. You said I waited all my life through, and I held you close like I promised to.
No need for words, no need to be
anywhere else, just you and me. Back where it started, wild and free, right here under the apple tree. Under the apple tree, where love began and never left, just waited. He remembers back-breaking workers pull on my boots and alarms gone. He remembers back-breaking insurance that's on my west on the walls and blues. They remember back-breaking office and blue, but then get as many as and be. We didn't have much, but we had honest days, and the sun bore down on our hard-earned ways. But the cotton didn't stop growing when the world was gone. We wasn't feeling like there's that good through sun. But man, could there really strike right in any boy once heard her red soul into a part night. Now the winter curtains by burst through weeds and stone. I still hear the rustle when the cotton stopped growing. We'd gather at dusk when the work was done, share a dip of tobacco and talk of the sun. Old man Jenkins would play his beat-up guitar, and we'd sing old songs beneath one bright star. The kids all left for the city's bright light, said, "Pa, this land won't feed us right." I didn't blame 'em, just nodded my head while the tears in my eyes stayed warm and red. Yeah, the cotton stopped growing when the times turned cold, when the rich got richer and the poor got sold. No more bales stacked high in the harvest moon, just silence and weeds in a long gone tune. And the house stands empty, the well's running low. I still feel the ache when the cotton stopped growing. I reckon progress has its place and name, but it don't know my daddy's first and last name. It don't know the sweat, the prayers in the road, the pride in a harvest no one else would know. Now the cotton stopped growing, and so did I. Just a shadow on the porch as the years drift by. But if heaven's a place with a fence and a plow, I'll be back in the field with my face to the vow. And the Lord will say, "Son, you kept on sowing when the cotton stopped growing." But my heart kept growing.
When the cotton stopped growing, I stayed.